Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to the Popa Ray Family and Friends Show. Yeah. Today's date is the 27th of June, and it is 9 o'clock. It's coming up on debate. Yes, tonight is debate night, and that's why your papa has brought the channel up live. We are live right now, the Popa Ray Family and Friends Show. Yeah. And I'm still with my girl, Cheryl. Still going on, still going strong. Oh, yeah. You may hear her comment in the background from time to time. We've got the time to talk about it. Ain't got there we go. I'm about to say I thought it didn't have audio for a minute, but I see my audio. So let me invite a few guests. Let me invite a few guests. And we got that copied. And y'all know it's a while since I've done this, so I got to remember. We got the commercials going. That's okay. That's all good. And let's see what we got here.
President Trump will be on the left side of the screen. President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determined their position.
Yeah, and Biden won the coin toss, so he chose to be on the side that he wants to be on, and which means that Trump gets to give the closing speech, if you will. That's how it's set up, folks. Just so if you don't know, that's how it's set up. So yeah. So
at the end of the debate, each candidate will get 2 minutes for closing statements.
Working on some things, people. I'm working on some things, so I'm just kind of doing this. I don't think it really should be. Really should be is the President of the United States, our beloved Joe Biden, is going to have to duke it out with the schoolyard bully, the schoolyard bully fight. You need to put the schoolyard bully in check. That's what this is. We got to put schoolyard bully in check. That's what this is. Schoolyard bully time. Schoolyard bully time. Yep.
Start with the issue that voters consistently say is
all right. The economy, not concerned.
Slowed, but prices
turn it up a little bit.
Since took office, the price of essentials has increased. For example,
so,
cost $100 then now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency than they were under President Trump?
We got to take a look at what I was left on to get president, what Mr. Trump left me.
Oh, we can't do that, Joe. Joe, we can't do that, Joe. Joe.
So badly handled. Many people were dying.
Can't do it.
He said it's not that serious. Just inject a little bleach in your arm.
Oh, you ain't got to bring the bleach up, Joe. Not the bleach. He hitting from below the belt. I like to call a 2-second timeout. Low already by the President of the United States. Hitting below the belt. That's below the belt. Come on, that's below the belt, Joe.
Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come from a household where the kitchen tables and things weren't able to be met during the month was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to deal with those problems. We're going to make sure that we reduce the price of housing. We're going to make sure we build 2 million new units. We're going to make sure we cap rents. So corporate greed is the reason why it's a problem right now. In addition to that, we're in a situation where if you had to take a look at all that was done in his administration.
Oh, no, not his administration, Joe.
And so we put things back together. We I said those jobs, we make sure we had.
His administration, Joe. Can't look at it. All right. So let me send out some invites, people. So that means I'm going to interrupt my phone here recording this. So I can see
there has to be more than $200 for any drug, all the drugs that conclude beginning next year. In the situation, we're going to make that available to everybody.
Yeah.
All Americans. So we're working to bring down the price around the kitchen table, and that's what we're going to get done.
So that's what's next.
Thank you.
You
We have the greatest economy in the history of our country. We have never.
Oh,
been so
okay.
well. Everybody was.
Whoa, Patricia's the first one. She said, "Am I watching a debate?"
And when we did, we spent the money necessary so we wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military.
A lot of credit. What credit? What credit did you get? Credit don't mean nothing. What did you do? I got credit. That's like, oh yeah, I got honorable mention at school. I got honorable mention.
A country where the stock market actually was higher than pre-COVID, and nobody thought that was even possible.
Oh my goodness gracious!
For illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country. It is absolutely killing us.
Oh yeah, it is.
Thank you, President Biden.
Oh, look, the greatest economy in the world. He's the only one who thinks that.
Yep, that's right. It is the greatest. They said it today.
And, you know, the fact of the matter is that we find ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy. He had the largest tax cut in history, $2 trillion. He raised a deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began.
Yep.
Since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant, and the military.
What a joke.
You know, when he was president, they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still finding ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only.
All right, invites is going out. Invites is going out. Invites is going out.
Any troops dying anywhere in the world like he did.
President Trump, I want to follow up if I can.
You want allowed to respond to him?
Well, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. You can do whatever you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods.
He said, okay. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joey. No comment. No comment.
And many others, in all fairness to China, it's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money, reduce our deficit tremendously, and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history.
He gave us he didn't give us the largest tax cut. He gave the wealthy. Who's the us? He's talking about people. Who's the us? He is talking about. Yep, us. He gave us. Yep, hang on. Let me send this to you. I could be running tests. I sent that link to you too.
It was probably the worst administration in history.
So you got the link.
And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength.
Good dignity, with strength, with power. What the hell does that mean?
In the history of our country's life.
Yeah, you are so stupid. With history.
Under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt.
Oh, snappy snap. He's hitting them with the facts. He's hitting them with the truth. He's hitting them with the truth. Yes, he is.
You want to extend them and go even further, you say. With the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax code.
Oh, there we go.
Just prior to COVID, and even after COVID, it was so strong that we're.
It may be.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Better than just
I can
about
hear
any
you,
other
but
country.
we're right behind each other, so it may not.
Now, when we
It may be
cut the
overlapping.
taxes, as an example, the corporate tax
Someone
was
put
cut
it
down
on
to
mute.
21% from 39%.
Oh, yeah.
Plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back
Okay.
trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before. And we were ready to start paying.
Yeah,
down
when
debt.
you,
We were ready to start
when you,
using the
well, I
liquid
actually,
gold
I guess
right
I
under our
can
feet.
hear your voice
We're
here,
going
so
against
you
right
shouldn't
under our
have to
feet.
worry about
We
your
were going to
microphone.
have something that
I
nobody
can
else has
talk.
had.
Let me see something.
We
Say
had
something,
a
and I'm pretty sure I can hear
we did
you.
a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable
No, leave your
situation
mute on.
with all of the
Leave it on.
therapeutics and
It's
all
what I'm
of the
saying. When
things
you
that we
talk,
came up
I
with.
should be a bit.
We gave him something great.
You say your
Remember,
name?
more people died.
Go ahead and turn
under
your,
his
unmute your phone.
administration,
Good.
Even though we had
Okay.
largely fixed it.
Did you hear any echoing?
His administration.
No.
Good, then we're good. Don't worry about it. Then you can leave it unmuted. No, as long as you don't, you're not getting an echo, because we're live.
But he had far more
Oh,
people.
good.
We're live,
in
girl.
his
Sheriff's
administration.
on. We're
He did the
live.
mandate, which is a
Did you hear what he's
disaster,
saying?
mandating
This
it.
idiot.
The vaccine
This
went out,
idiot.
he did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that people
The
most
vaccine.
objected
Yes,
to
the
about
bleach.
vaccine.
The bleach
And he did a
vaccine.
very
Yes,
cool
the
job,
bleach
just a very cool
vaccine.
job. And I will tell you, not only
Bleach,
there, but
bleach,
the entire world,
bleach.
we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a
No,
third world
they
nation
don't.
between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his
Oh, that's
political
because it's in the
opponent.
headset.
All of the things he's
There
done,
we go.
we've
I was
become
wondering
like
what
a
was going
third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, and I'd love to ask him, and will, why
said the
allowed
damage he's
millions
done.
of people to come in here from prisons, jails,
You
and
people,
mental
who's you
institutions
people?
to come into our country and destroy our country.
President Trump, we will get
Destroyed it how?
Later in this block. President
See,
Biden
rhetoric.
wanted
That's
to
rhetoric.
respond to this question about the national debt.
Oh, that's nice. I like the way you put the pool in the background. That's good.
Number two, he got $2 trillion.
I'm not even
tax
for the
cut
pool.
for
I'm for
people
you.
very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America. And what's happening? They're in a situation where they, in fact, pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%,
How was that one?
25%,
That's my
Yeah, that's
background.
nice.
they raise
Yeah, that's good.
$500 million.
Popa Ray,
I should
chilling.
say, in a 10-year period.
In the pool. I wasn't telling people. I was out there after working.
Child care, elder
In their
care,
yard.
making sure that we continue to
I
support
need to get this.
strengthen our healthcare system, making sure
Yeah,
that
I
we're
sent out those
every
invites.
single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we had to do with. Look,
See, should be Joe. Stop debating facts.
finally beat Medicare.
Stop debating facts.
President Trump.
Joe debating facts and getting
Well, he
confused.
did beat Medicare.
They
He
did
beat it to
stuff.
death. They're just destroying Medicare.
Stop that, Joe.
Because all of these people are
Stop
coming in, they're putting them on Medicare, they're
You
putting them
messing
on
with BT
Social
Barnum right now.
Security care, they're
You
putting them
messing
on
with
Social
BT Barnum
Security.
right
This man is
now.
going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on
Wait, how
Social
did millions of
Security.
people
He will
come in and
wipe
go
out
to try Social
Social
Security?
Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he was
Explain that.
It's a shame. What's happened to our country in the last 4 years is not to be believed. Foreign countries, I'm friends with a lot of people. They
But it's
cannot
not to
believe
be
what
believed.
the United
Yes,
States
because
of
2 and
America
2 is not 4, and the earth is flat.
We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people.
Oh,
What we're doing
Oh,
for other
really?
countries.
Oh, do they? Now, see,
What this man has
yeah,
done
these are platitudes,
is
people.
absolutely
He's
criminal.
not saying anything factual.
President Trump.
You realize that?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled
let's see
on
this
yet
lie
another
Trump
abortion
himself.
case.
Stop asking
temporarily
real
allowing
stupid
emergency
questions.
abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump,
January
you
6th.
take credit
January
for the decision
6th.
to overturn
January
Roe v.
6th.
Wade,
When are
which
we gonna
returned
talk
the issue of
about
abortion to
it?
states. However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills. They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As president, would you block abortion
Who cares?
medications?
He's
First of all,
already
the Supreme Court just
appointed the
approved the
judges
abortion bill,
who struck
and
down
I
Roe
really
v.
disagree.
Wade.
And I will
Who
not. talk
cares,
about it.
Dana? Come on
And
now.
as
Stop
long as
asking me
this
silly
whole
questions.
Question that you're asking, complex, but
what
not
this
really
silly
complex.
question you're asking?
51
I know
years
you heard
ago,
her.
you had Roe v. Wade,
It really
and
is.
everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception.
No, they did not.
Democrats,
Who's everybody?
Republicans,
You see,
conservatives,
that's a platitude, people.
religious leaders.
Everybody.
And what I did
Everybody
was I
meaning
concluded
everybody
Supreme
he
Court
knows,
justices on the court,
everybody who he
and they
hangs
have to
out
vote
with,
in
his
favor of
cousins, his
killing
brother,
Roe
his
v. Wade
mother, his
and moving
uncle.
it back to the
Those
states,
are
just as something
everybody's
that
too.
Everybody wanted. You know,
So
10 years
who's he
ago,
talking
we
about?
started talking about how many
Who's
weeks
that?
and how many this is getting into
That's
other
the
things.
question
But
that
every
really
legal
needs to be
scholar
asked.
throughout the
Who's
world,
everybody?
wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states are working it out. If you look at Ohio,
No, the
it's a
states
decision
ain't
that was-
working out. The
it was
states
a
is
result,
doing
it was a little bit
and
more
undoing what he's done in every last
Kansas,
court that it's went to. They struck
Texas
down
is
what the
different,
Supreme
Florida's
Court
different,
did.
but they're all making their own decisions
That-
right now. And
This
right
is
now,
code for white supremacy. That's what this is. Code for white supremacy. Oh, I lost. Oh. No, I'm still there. I was hearing, I guess, in my ear from you being on. That's what it is. Okay, because I can hear your with the television.
Rape, incest, and the life
He
of the
does
mother.
not
I
say
think it's
anything
very
about no
important.
rape, incest, people. Come on,
We are,
people.
but
Come
you
on,
elected
people.
also, and that has to do with other things. You got to get elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will
Yeah,
take
see,
the life of a child.
name
and
calling,
do
they're
it
radical,
and even
name
after birth.
calling.
After birth,
You know
if
who's
look at the
radical?
former governor of
White
Virginia,
supremacists.
he was willing to do this.
They
He said,
are
"Well,
radical,
the baby
okay?
side
Yes,
will determine what
the
we do, and
KKK.
the baby will kill the baby."
they are radical.
What
They've been
happens with
going to
going
people's
back to the
houses,
States and
black
countries
people's
now
homes
coming together
for
on this issue? It's been a
over
great
200
thing.
years,
Thank you.
killing
It's been a terrible
innocent
thing,
people.
what you've done.
That's
The fact
radical.
is that the vast majority of constitutional
Okay,
scholars
that's
supported
right.
Roe when it was decided. Supported Roe. And that's this idea that they're all against it is just ridiculous. And this is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor and have him decide on what your circumstances are when you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, and they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters, it's just ridiculous.
How about that just
And they do
being
nothing about it.
raped?
And they try to arrest them when they cross state
And
lines.
the fact that they become pregnant as a result of rape, how about they should be able to do what they want with that baby, whether to have it or not to have it? How about that?
And these killers are coming into our country.
No, the killers is you. The killers is you. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Yes, it's terrible. Talk like an adult there, Trumpy boy.
Frankly, a very liberal decision. In many cases, it's the opposite. But they're voting, and it's bringing it back to the vote of the people, which is what everybody wanted, including the founders, if they knew about this issue, which frankly they didn't.
I guess he's answering. He knows. He must got a hotline to Franklin, Wash, all of them cats, Jefferson. Yeah, because if they would have known there was rocket ships and we was going to go to the moon, then maybe they wouldn't have done the Constitution the way they did it. Right? Who's everybody? He talks like a 3-year-old. Who's everybody? Who is he talking about?
No legal restrictions on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I support Roe v. Wade.
There we go. End of discussion. That's it.
First time between the
End of
doctor and the
discussion.
doctor.
He supported Roe v. Wade.
Between the doctor and
How about
the
that?
extreme-
They broke.
third
They
time
took down.
between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the
That's what he should be.
that the founders want the politicians to be the ones making decisions about a woman's health is ridiculous. That's the last. No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions.
Thank you.
That's how it should be run. That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
Pardon my hand.
He can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor.
They take the afterbirth. They take the afterbirth. What do they do with the afterbirth, Donald? Do they make like a soup out of it or something? They
That is
take
so
the
sad.
afterbirth. And then they just take it. They just take it. Because you know they're eating babies too. They're eating
That's simply
babies.
not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that. That's not the circumstance. Only the woman's life is in danger. She's going to die.
Come on.
That's the only circumstance where that can happen. But we are not for late-term abortion, period. Period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want.
Look,
We don't
how
think that's
much
a good
longer
thing.
are we going to have a
It's
factual
not.
debate? I won't be able to handle this much longer, people. I'm telling you,
For 51
because
years, that
Trump
was
is an
the law.
idiot,
51
and
years,
he's
constitutional
proven that he
scholarship
can't
says
have a
in that
conversation.
51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do? In fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board, at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Let's turn on to the issue of immigration.
No, you can't. Sorry, you're
President
mic'd out. No,
Biden,
Trumpy, you
number
can't
of
speak.
migrants
Sorry,
have
buddy. You're
illegally
muted.
crossed the southern border.
You know the rules.
Overwhelming border states and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where
Yes,
you
they had a
no
bipartisan
circumstance
agreement,
where they could come
and it
across
was
the
going to
border
be signed.
with the number of
And
people
Trump
that
called
go
up
out.
all the
It should
Trumplicans.
increase the number of
Trumplicans,
asylum
that's right. He called his
seekers.
Trumplicans
The
up
Border Patrol endorsed
and
me,
talked
endorsed
him
my
out of
position. In
supporting the
addition to
bill.
that, we find ourselves in a
Yes,
situation where
yes.
when he
And
was
just so
president,
you
he was
know,
taking
there's been
separating
more of the
babies
wall
from
built
their
during
mama
the
and putting them in
Biden
cages,
administration
making sure they were-
than
that
any of the
families were
wall was
separated.
built
That's
during
not
the
the way to
Trump
go. What
administration.
I've done
How
since
about
I've
that,
changed
people?
the law,
How about
what's
that?
happened? I've changed it in a way that now you're in a situation where there are 40% fewer people coming across the border legally. That's better than when he left office. And I'm going to continue to move until we get to the
That's
total
right.
ban.
His numbers, well,
And
his numbers are better than
total
Trump's.
initiative
Obama's
relative
numbers
to
was
what we can do with
better than
more
Trump's
border
when it comes
patrol
to immigrants.
and more asylum officers.
So,
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that.
yeah, you know you can. You can't hear. You can't pay attention. You
We're in
can't.
the
You can't
safest
pay
border in the
attention.
history of our country. All he had to do was leave it. All he had to do was leave it. He decided to open up our border, open up our country to people that are from prisons.
You listen.
From mental institutions.
There were
and
monkeys
safety.
in there, and they were
Terrorists.
riding
There were
chickens.
a large number of
Oh, were the
terrorists
chickens
coming
riding on
from
monkeys?
all terrorists,
And they
all
came
over
across the border,
in South America,
and they
all over
had
the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world
sandwiches
pouring
with them,
in.
and they didn't want to share. And we like people in our country who like
He
to
didn't
share.
need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said close the
No.
border. We had the safest border in history.
Oh my
In
goodness.
that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but
Oh,
I won't say that.
Yes, you. I won't say that. He just said it. But I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't. I won't. I promise. I won't say it.
Including the people that are coming
I
out.
promise. But they endorsed me.
The only terrorist-
One guy did for sure. I know it's one guy.
Is
One
when
guy
we came along and
that
killed
worked there.
3 and
Oh, look at that beautiful flower. We might be talking about that beautiful flower. That one girl showed us a picture there. I wish y'all could see it. You really can't see my dashboard. So I have to show you these.
That's the
Been
only
working on the
terrorist.
garden
I'm
out
not saying
there.
that no terrorists.
Coming along really good behind the pool. So I'll have some stuff out there.
Mhm.
It's simply not true. There's no data to
Isn't that
support what he
pretty?
said. Once again, he's exaggerating. He's lying.
It's gorgeous.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second, he said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Salman.
What did he say? Outback Daddy. Outback Daddy.
Wait a minute.
Back
Out.
Daddy.
Hold on.
Outback
Hold
Daddy.
on.
Who?
Hold on. I'm coming in on that one. He said that
Oh,
out.
break, news break. We got Sher coming in live on to report to you. Hey, Daddy.
That he said the Outback Daddy. So that means the person who's over Outback.
Outback Daddy.
Done. Completely done.
Oh, people, come on, people. Come on, people. Oh, he's got to do better.
I'm done.
He's got to do better.
I'm done.
Donald, you don't get a seafood depletion because you showed up to the debate. You
I know
don't
you
gift
heard
it
me.
out no more.
This fool said the Outback Daddy.
He did. He said the Outback Daddy.
An
He said the Outback Daddy.
He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And we have to get a lot of these people out. And we have to get.
He's opened the borders.
Destroy our country. Just take a look
And
at what they're
nobody
living.
has ever seen anything like it.
Hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are.
You know why they're sitting in New York City? Because Ron DeSantis sent them there.
And he doesn't care about.
That's why they're sitting in New York City. His boy, Ron, sent them there.
He is the worst. He's gotten rid
Absolutely.
of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest.
Well, I'm going to abandon drinking bleach or taking chloroquine, horse tranquilizer. That is, for translation for y'all that don't know the medical term. Horse tranquilizer for cold. Or we call tranquilizer.
For example,
Yeah. Call me Trigger. Oh no, Donna would like to call me nigga, but that's okay. We know that too. I said it to you.
Because what happened, burn pits, they're all being covered now.
Come on
And
in. Come on
It's a
in.
situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma. I was recently in France for D-Day, and I spoke about those heroes that died. I went to the World War II cemetery, World War I cemetery.
Yes, where's this guy? I remember him
And he told me
going to the American cemetery that's called the National Cemetery and calling people suckers die for their country. And you people remember that? He called people suckers. I want to know. He said that too many unknown soldiers saying, I don't know why he died for the country. He's a sucker. Remember when he talked about John McCain and I don't like my heroes to be captured?
Yep.
Heroes and soldiers are not like hot dogs that you can order with or without sauce.
That said, it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up, just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up, just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking. It's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation. It wasn't. That came from his son Hunter. It wasn't.
Oh,
Russia
we're on.
disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers.
Yeah,
he should apologize to me right now.
Four-star General Sanders.
He should apologize. He hurt his feelings, everybody.
And number two, the idea.
Biden hurt Trump's feelings. This is the guy who sodomizes women, rapes women,
The only sacred obligation we have as a country
and he
is to
wants
care for our
them.
veterans when they come home,
He wants the
and
apology.
help them when they go to war. That's what we're doing.
Okay,
That's what the VA
people.
is doing now.
Yeah, he wants you to think he's a victim.
Before in our history.
Yeah, he's a victim, all right. Victim PR, reverse victim.
I want to begin with Russia's war against Ukraine, which is now in its third year.
No,
Former President
stop with
Trump,
these ridiculous
Russian President
questions.
Vladimir Putin says he'll only
This
end
isn't a
this
real
war
debate,
if
people.
Russia keeps the
And I'm getting
Ukrainian
upset.
territory it has already claimed.
We better see some shenanigans,
Its bid to join NATO.
something
Are Putin's terms
going
acceptable
on
to you?
First
up
of
in
all,
here.
our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander in chief, if that's what you call him.
That if that's what you call them.
So let's get that
Yes.
straight.
And they
And
think
they
he's
like
the
me more
worst.
than just about any of them. And
Yeah.
that's based on every
Oh,
single
wow.
bit of information.
And
As
he
far
knows
as
that
Russia
how,
and Ukraine,
because he's got
we had a real
intelligence.
president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin. He would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than
Wait.
people know. You know, they talk about
Didn't
numbers. You can
Putin go
double those
into
numbers, you can
Ukraine?
triple those numbers.
before Biden.
In fact, I think he encouraged Russia
Was,
from going
wasn't
in.
Putin already there?
And he was so bad with Afghanistan. It
What?
was such a horrible
Baby,
embarrassment, most embarrassing moment
please,
in
my
the history of
history's a
our
little
country.
off
But
because
when
it's too
Putin
recent.
watched that and he saw the incompetence that he should have fired those generals like I fired the one that you mentioned.
Already
And so he's got no love lost. But
in
he should have fired those generals. No general
what country?
got fired for the most embarrassing moment
he
in the
invaded
history of our country.
already.
Afghanistan. When we
He
got
did
billions of
that,
dollars
didn't
of equipment
he? He
behind
invaded
it.
already.
13
Wait,
beautiful
let me
soldiers and 38 soldiers.
So by the time Joe Biden got in office, Putin already did his bad stuff, right?
He did, right.
So why is he saying if Joe would have stopped him? It happened.
Never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas.
In a million years by
Because
By a million years by Hamas?
I wouldn't let anybody do business with
But
them.
because Joe was there,
They had no money
he
for
invaded.
Hamas. They had
No,
money for
he
anything.
invaded because
That's what
him
they
and
did.
Bibi, Trump and Bibi had an arrangement. Trump knew exactly what Bibi was going to do, and he was supporting it because he thought Trump would still be around. That's the real deal.
We're in a situation where, take the last point first. Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president. They attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. But he didn't do a thing when the attack took place, number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others out of Afghanistan during that era. Number three, we found ourselves in a situation where if you take a look at what Trump did in Ukraine, this guy told Trump, do whatever you want.
Yep,
Do whatever you want. And that's exactly what Trump did
that's right.
to Putin, encourage him, do whatever you want. And he went in. And listen to what he said.
He went in under Trump's watch. Do you understand that? He went in under Trump's watch.
Kyiv.
Oh,
And
he
in fact
dropped out
didn't
again.
do it at all. He wasn't able to get it done. And they've lost thousands and thousands of troops, 500,000 troops.
Yeah.
President Trump, I have a
I said you
question.
had dropped
For
out
1 minute,
again.
I just want to go back to my original question, which is.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what you said.
Terms acceptable to you, keeping the territory of Ukraine.
No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he walks away with $60 billion. He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending on this war, and we shouldn't be spending, it should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being
Just like he had the wall built, people. Remember, on day one, I'm gonna have a wall up. I got a magic button. In fact, he's got one of the buttons like they show on TV, the red button. He said he was gonna hit that button, remember? And then the wall was gonna come up. Now he's gonna end the war between the Israelis, Putin, and the Ukrainians.
And then you think you'll stop there? You think
Okay.
you'll stop when he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, by the way, all that money we give Ukraine and from weapons we make here in the United States, we give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much.
Losing contact here, people. I lost my connection.
That's why
I got my phone dropping over here. I'm
Moving
trying
on
to
to the Middle
do
East.
multiple things
In
here at the same
October,
time.
Hamas attacked Israel, killing more than 1,000 people and taking hundreds of hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number one, everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through to the G7 to the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan they put forward. Which has 3 stages to it. The first stage is treat the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions. The third phase is the end of the war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one, they're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing.
Don't really believe that one, Joe. I'm sorry. You're my man, but I don't believe that. I also believe BB. BB wants it to go. No, BB does. BB does want the war to keep going. BB does want the war to keep going. BB wants it to keep going.
I'm the guy that organized.
Sorry, BB does. That one there, you're wrong about that one. So
ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was
my man, Joe, but you're wrong about that. Really are.
And it just stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest producer of support for Israel of anyone in the world. And so there are 2 different things. Hamas cannot be allowed to be continued. We continue to send our experts and our intelligence people as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated. But you've got to be careful for using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second. We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together.
So we have an ocean separating us, people.
Or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any, they were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting old. You got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
Listen to this idiot.
President Biden, you have a minute.
I've never heard so much foolishness.
Thank you.
The guy who wants to get out of NATO.
So much ridiculous nonsense. Yes.
We have our strength.
So much ridiculous nonsense.
It may be a big ocean, but we're going to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe. What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? You have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then.
It's ridiculous.
No idea what the hell he's talking about.
He doesn't. No idea what the hell he's talking about. Yes, Joe. Yes. Hit him. Hit him again. Hit him. You got him on the ropes. You got him. Rope him. Ooh, you got to. Ooh, rope him. Rope it open. Rope it open. Oh, yeah. Rope it open. Rope it open. Rope it dope.
Just to follow up. Would
And
you
he's
support the
down.
creation of an independent
1,
Palestinian state in order to
2,
achieve peace in the region?
3,
But before we do
4,
the problem with
5,
is that we spend all the money.
6,
So they kill us on trade. That's
7,
trade deals with the European nations.
8,
Because
nine,
they're about the same size
10.
economically. They're
He's
about
out.
the same size as the
He's
United
out.
States. And they were with
He's
no
out.
cars. No, they don't want anything that we
Trump
have. But we're
is
supposed to
out.
take their cars, their food, their everything, their agriculture. I changed that. But the big thing
I changed
is they don't
that.
pay.
He changed it how?
That
You see,
play
he can
games
say,
with
I
NATO
did, I
because
did.
I got
I've been to the moon and back.
billions of dollars. I said, and he's right about
I was in the
this.
Air
I said,
Force.
no, I'm not going to support
So
NATO.
didn't I? I've been to the moon and back.
They asked me that question. Would you guard us
I'll
against
never tell you
Russia?
how I did it. I
And
did it. I
very
did. I
secretly,
was
there
there.
were 28,
I moved the
states at
flag.
that
Look,
time,
you go up there.
nations at that time.
Well,
said,
you get a
no, you
chance to go.
don't
You go up
pay.
there
I won't do that.
You
And
go
know
up
what
there
happened?
and you
Billions
look
and
and you
billions of
see
dollars came
that
flowing
the
in next
flag
day,
on the
next
moon
months.
is shifted
Now we're in the
just a
same
little
position.
bit to
We
the
pay
left.
everybody else.
Well, when you're looking at
Let's turn to the issue of
from the telescope,
democracy. Former
look to the
President
right.
Trump,
But I moved it to the left.
January 6,
But when you
2021,
look,
after you rallied your
just move to the
supporters
right.
that day, Some of them
I
stormed
did
the
that.
Capitol to stop the Constitution.
Went up there,
and mandated
secret
counting
mission.
of electoral votes.
They needed a
As
flag.
president,
They
you
came
swore
to
an
me,
oath to,
asked
quote,
me to do
preserve, protect, and
That's a
defend
ridiculous.
the
He's saying.
Constitution.
Because
What
what
do
I'm
you say
saying
to
is
voters who
ridiculous.
believe that you
Y'all
violated
know
that oath through your
they
actions
wouldn't
and
let me move the
inaction on
flag.
January 6th, and worry
They
that
might
you'll
send
do
me
it
to the
again?
moon,
Too many
but they
believe that.
wouldn't let me
About
move the
January
flag.
6th.
Y'all know this
On
is.
January 6th, we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few.
Oh, January
On
6th, we had a
January
great
6th, we
border.
were energy independent. On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever.
Oh,
On
we had the
January 6th,
lowest
we
rate. Yeah, they were
all
low.
over the world.
They were
All
under the
over the world, we
bar,
were
so his
respected.
boys
And then
could
he
make some
comes
money.
in and we
Yeah, they was
acknowledge
low.
that. We're a bunch of stupid
Yeah, they
people.
were low. I don't know what he's talking about. January
The
6th.
United States' reputation under this man's leadership is horrible, including weaponization, which I'm sure at some
You
point we'll
mean
be talking
like
about.
when he would go
When
to
he
the
accepts his political opponent
foreign
because he can't be fair and square.
G7
You have
meeting
80 seconds
and
left. My question
everybody
was,
would
when you say to
laugh
those voters who believe
when
that
he
you
be walking in the
violated
room?
your constitutional
You
oath
mean
for
like
your
that?
actions in action on January 6, 2021.
Whoa, here we go. Come on, Jake. Bring it on, Jake. Bring it on, Jake.
I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago, on tape to her daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, as they say. But she's saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor,
Now Trump's trying to say he offered up some 10,000 soldiers. And Nancy said, nah, man, we good.
Because I could see, I had virtually nothing to do.
He said, we offered up 10,000 troops. And Nancy said, nah, we good.
You could feel it.
We good.
You could feel it.
We good, people.
The same Nancy he tried to help people.
How about he just call up the National Guard and say, get your ass out there. Now, Nancy, he didn't have to call Nancy. They on their way, Nancy. Yes. They'll be coming around the mountain when they come. They'll be coming around the mountain when they come.
I sat in the Oval Office. He sat there for 3 hours, 3 hours watching, begging, being begged by his vice president. And
Yes, he was. He was begged by Vice President. Please do something. You red-headed stepchild.
Patriots and great.
Look at his face. Oh, stop telling the truth about me. Don't tell the truth about me on national TV. We live. Queen is live. People, my baby bought me something to eat. I got to go bless my food. But the caricature, this clown going on, yeah, it's still going. We going on. I'll be staying live. Bless my dinner, and then I'm gonna come on back. So I'm gonna keep it up. We're gonna keep it going on. Keep it real. Gotta go.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
For there are some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, Trump said, no, he did not, people. He did not say, Biden ought to be ashamed of himself. You,
many other cities.
oh,
You go to
crazy
Minnesota,
man. You crazy man. You so crazy.
with the
So
fires all over the
crazy.
city. If I didn't bring
So
in the
crazy
National Guard, that city
people.
would have been destroyed.
What's that?
When you look at
That
all
was
of the, they took over big chunks of Seattle. I was all set to bring in the National Guard. They heard that. They saw them coming and they left immediately.
Oh my
What he
goodness.
said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing, the unselect committee, which is basically two horrible Republicans that are
Two horrible
gone out
Republicans.
of office.
Oh yeah, they're
And
never
Democrats.
Trumpers. That's what they were.
They destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right.
Oh
We were
wow.
And they
Wow.
deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did
What?
that, they'd go to
Did
jail.
he not say somebody goes to jail?
Go get it.
The only person in this
Tom Dick.
convicted felon is the man I'm looking at right now.
Tom Dick.
And the fact of the matter is, what he's telling you is simply not true. The fact is that there was no effort on his part to stop what was going on.
Tom Dick.
And all those people, every one of those who were convicted, deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill somebody, just went in and broke down doors, broke the windows,
Oh, they killed people. Somebody died.
turned over desks, turned them over.
Defecated.
The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him the first two debates we had, the first time around, I said, will you denounce the Proud Boys? He said, no, I'll tell them to stand by.
Stand back and stand by.
Will you denounce these guys? Will you denounce the people we're talking about now? Will you denounce the people who attacked that Capitol? What are you going to do?
Huh? What you going to do, Tano?
I'll give you a minute, President, for a follow-up question I have. After a jury convicted you of 34 felonies last month, you said if reelected, you would, quote, have every right to go after, unquote, your political opponents. You just talked about members of the select committee on January 6th going to jail. Your main political opponent is standing on stage with you tonight. Can you clarify exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I said my retribution is going to be success. We're going to make this country successful.
No, that is not what you said.
My
No, it
retribution
is
is going to
not.
be success.
Liar!
A convicted felon. His son is a convicted felon.
I told you he's gonna talk about his son because he can't talk about himself. So you gotta talk about his son.
Sonny ran for president.
Justice Department let the
Newsflash.
lapse.
Joe
Biden's son isn't running for president. What that convicted felon is.
Things that he's done.
That convicted felon is running for office.
The Ukrainian people that we're going to want $1 billion. You can change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that,
Oh,
that's quid pro
you did.
quo.
You said you want some guns there, Mr. Ukrainian president. You better support me.
This man
You better say you support me.
This man, you're lucky. You're lucky. I did nothing wrong. We'd have a system that was rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
I didn't.
Thank you,
You
President Trump.
convicted.
President Biden, you have said, I'm coming right to you, sir.
Oh hell, Joe! Don't talk about. Don't even answer the next question,
The
Joe.
idea that I did anything wrong relative to what you're talking about is outrageous.
Yep.
It's simply a lie, number one. Number two, the idea that you have a right to seek retribution against any American just because you're president is wrong. It's simply wrong. No president's ever spoken like that before. No president. in all
You're
history
sick in the head.
before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties you have. How many billions of dollars do you owe in civil penalties for molesting a woman in public,
Look.
or doing a whole range of things?
Oh, you degenerate!
With a porn
He
star,
called you out.
while your wife is pregnant. I mean, what are you talking about? You're
Yep.
the wolf and an alley cat.
Yep.
Give your minute, sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number two, that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official at DOJ into the Manhattan DA's office to start.
Yeah, but.
That case is going to be appealed and won. We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge.
Oh my goodness.
The prosecutor,
Oh.
high-ranking Democrats appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did? My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're reporting it. And we took in more.
Well, you know that. You know that because you're reporting it. You know it.
In the history of any campaign, I don't think any campaign has ever taken hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Oh, Mr.
President
Cheater,
Biden, you have
cheater.
said, quote, Donald Trump and his MAGA Republicans are determined to destroy American democracy. Do you believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely to vote for President Trump will be voting against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes.
Yeah,
The more they know about what he's done.
that's right.
And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming
Yeah.
out. He's got a whole range of issues he has to face. I don't know what the juries will do, but I do know he has a problem. And so the fact that
No.
you never think you heard any president say,
I could get a job at the post office, people.
President say that
If I was him,
had some good ideas.
how the hell did he get to run for president? I don't understand. Somebody explain that to
I said I
me.
wasn't going to run again until I saw what happened in Charlottesville, Virginia. People coming out of the woods carrying swastikas on torches.
Yep.
Torches.
He is
saying
so-
the same anti-Semitic
He is
trial is saying-
Ignited the embers of hatred
And a young woman got killed.
in this country.
And she-
He's a MAGA white supremacist.
The people who the ones got killed one that tried to stop it, and the one he said, I think they're fine people on both sides.
Yeah.
What American president would ever say, Nazis coming out of fields, carrying torches, singing anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas, were fine people. This is the guy who says Hitler's done some good things. I like to know what they are. The good things Hitler's done, that's what he said. This guy has no sense of American democracy.
No sense of what's right and wrong.
You know that story has been totally wiped out because when you see the sentence, it said 100% exoneration on this. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville. He ran because it was his last chance. He's not equipped to be president. You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate.
But he didn't answer. You notice he's not answering. You notice he's not answering. He's not addressing what Biden just said. He supported. Yeah. He is deflecting. He is not responding. Did you or did you not, you redheaded stepchild? Did you or did you not say there was both good quality people on both sides of the road?
And he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
Okay, let's say that that's true. Now, can we get back to?
All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time.
Yes. Did you say it was both good people on both sides of the road? Was there a chicken to cross the road to get the road to the other side? And why did the chicken cross the road in the first place? Because the road crossed the chicken first. No, roads can't move. That's a stupid response, people. Just like his response is stupid. Roads don't move.
We saw the people breaking through the windows. We saw people occupying his own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why?
Look, yes, it's all true. When I get back in office, I'm killing all those motherfuckers. They done. You see them? Here they look. Yeah, I know, Joe. Keep reminding me. They on my list too. Yeah, they on my list too. Get them all. Get them all. Get them all. Get them all back. Get them all back. Now we gonna get a commentary. Let's see. Bring it on home now. Come on. Come on, Rachel. Bring it on, baby. Come on, Rachel.
Right after for reaction and analysis again here at MSNBC.
Reaction is what the. That reaction. What the?
2 scoops of ice cream, 2 phones.
What the?
And now, buy any phony.
Well, that's the reaction. Talk about it with reaction. I got a reaction for Trump, all right? I got to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Excuse me?
The energy you're seeing here isn't just clean or green.
Yeah.
It's red, white, and blue. Because not only is the clean energy plan reducing pollution.
We don't need to listen to that, people. We don't need to listen to that. We don't need to listen to that. There's no such thing as clean air. That's fake news. Anything that you're about to see and hear now, from this point on, to the point in the past, to the future, to the back to the past, it's all fake news. It's not real. It's not real. It's just not real. Just not real. We tried and we tried. And we can't get reality back no more, thanks to this man. We can't have reality anymore. Reality has been canceled by unreality. We can't have reality no more. All right, you the Popa Ray is the background music. Oh, hey,
Some are much worse than others.
Comedy Central's The Daily Show on Comedy Central. And next day on Paramount Plus.
Christian nationalists are mobilized.
There we go. Look, Christian nationalists. Look who's climbing these ceilings up in here. Ooh, that don't look like a peaceful bunch of people to me. Oh, they don't look peaceful at all. Books banned. That looks like Florida. The Santos, the Santos, Halitosis. Now all these non-God-loving people, you know, but they do have a separate church and state.
The attorneys you see on TV want you to call. But why would you call an out-of-town
Well, we
attorney
can't
for a
have
car
him.
crash that happened here in Tampa?
No, we can't. No, we can't endorse no people. We can't do that. So we gotta mute that people. We can't do no endorsement We don't endorse. No, gotta cut that off. Let that mute. We can't endorse. If the glove don't fit, you got to quit. Show this, people. Okay. You wrong for that. You is wrong for that. Wrong. But if the glove don't fit. Hey, Trump, guess you was a size 5. And them gloves just fit like a glove. They fit like a glove. Guess what they didn't give you? A box of acquittals. And you would have needed a box. You would have needed a box to carry him home in. Look, Ma, look. They signed it. I got a box of acquittals. Because that's the only place you got it, baby. It's in your imaginary box.
While Black unemployment dropped to a record low under your presidency, Black families still earn far less than white families. Black mothers are still 3 times more likely to die.
What you should say to Dana is, nigga, please.
And Black Americans are in prison at 5 times the rate of white Americans. What do you say to Black voters who are disappointed that you haven't made more?
Yeah, I'll say it again. No, I'm just messing with you.
Small Black businesses.
Biden's all right by me.
Number 2, the wages of Black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time. Number 3, we're providing housing for Black Americans and dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporate.
Reparations. Give me my reparations. It's time for reparations. Cost of one battleship that's over there supporting Israel will cover $10 million for every Black in this country. One battle? Aircraft carrier. If I said battleship, I meant aircraft carrier. I did mean aircraft carrier.
Child care costs.
Give me $10 million, and I'll tell you the reason why. If Black is $10 million, I don't really care what he's talking about right here with the whole Black thing, because he's kind of disconnected from that too. I like him, but he's kind of disconnected. Anyway, $10 million immediately overnight, all Black people become relevant. That's what the problem is in America. Blacks are considered irrelevant. We have our actors, we have our politicians, we have people that are in business, all the different little places, in segments of American society. But what we don't have is status. We don't have it. Certain individuals, certain groups of people have status. But as a culture, we don't have status. You see, $10 million overnight. Make sure you don't step on that knife, baby. Overnight, we have status. Everybody would like to be our friend, first of all. Got $10 million to spend.
He's blaming inflation.
$10 million to spend any way I like. Plus, I'm gonna have a black card. Yeah, we can call it the black card. That's gonna be issued by the government. Each year they're gonna put $200,000 on that account. Yeah. This is ongoing. Yeah. This don't stop. My suffering ain't stopped. It ain't gonna stop. My son's suffering ain't stopped. And my daddy's suffering didn't stop. My mama's suffering and so on. $10 million, we become relevant overnight. Everybody want to be our friend. That's the first thing. The economy going to instantly grow. Why? Let's just face it, some Black people are going to spend quite a bit of that money. There's going to be new cars. People going to be fighting over some car that somebody can't get overnight. Plain and simple, they only make so many of a certain type, and somebody going to want one more of that car than they making that.
There was
Okay?
no inflation.
That's how it is. Instantly, economy is going to double, if not triple.
50% unemployment.
Over
He decimated
night.
the economy. Absolutely decimated the economy.
You know what else going to happen?
That's why there's no inflation.
Unemployment numbers actually
There were no
going to
jobs.
go down because a whole bunch of blacks ain't going to need to work no more. A whole bunch of white people claiming that somebody done took their job from them because they went to school, got education, got smarter than them. They out to work for us.
Per person in the family.
They ain't working no more. Guess what? Y'all gonna take yourselves to work. Now employment actually gonna go up. Yeah. And there'll be a motivation to give those people more money. Why? Because, you know, y'all really do in America favor more white, shall we say, fairness than you do for fairness for people of color. Just how it is. Just saying what it is. You don't like it. Too bad. That's the fact.
Thank you. Another persistent challenge is the climate crisis.
So,
2023
moving right
was
along.
the hottest year in recorded history. And
going right past all they little bibbly babbly, because this is all quality, important stuff. It's just that Trump ain't got no business answering it, and Joe ain't got no business treating it like they're real questions that he need to answer to someone who is so unqualified as Donald J. Trump.
The police.
Plain
How close the police are to him. Almost every police group in the nation from every state is supporting Donald J. Trump.
And how many of them are people of color? And then of those white, how many of them are part of some white supremacist act? So I wouldn't be surprised that they did support it. Not saying that they all are that way. I'm just asking, of the ones that support him, that percentage, how many of them belong to these hate groups, these homegrown terrorists that need to be removed from our country? They are homegrown terrorists, people. That's what they are, homegrown terrorists.
Ever in the country, opportunity zones.
What is, it's one thing to say things. It's another thing to say shit that ain't true. And he ain't saying anything that's true. If he's gonna say it, bring the numbers. Bring the numbers. He doesn't have any numbers to support what he's saying. He's just talking.
He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics. But when you see these millions of people,
wait till you see these millions. You wait till you see them. You wait. They're gonna take the jobs. They're scaring you. He's trying to scare you. Gonna take your jobs. Let me tell you something, white America. If you're concerned about a migrant taking your job, there's something wrong with you. You got an advantage, just like you had an advantage over us, right? You was here before they got here. You speak the language. Most of them don't. You know how the systems work. They don't. If they make more money than you, and you afraid of that, shame on you. I ain't afraid of no migrant taking no money out of my pocket. Never have been, never will be.
And my top
I don't know what he's talking
gave
about.
you that statistic just before I walked on the stage.
I don't know what he's talking about. He's just talking out the side of his neck. The side of his neck.
Most extensive climate change legislation in history. We find ourselves, and by the way, black colleges. I came up with $50 billion for HBCUs,
Yep.
black universities and colleges, because they don't have the kind of contributors that they have to build these laboratories and all like. Any black student is capable in college of doing any white student can do. They just have the money, but now they'll be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done
Pardon me,
something
people.
to have the cleanest water. He hadn't done a damn thing.
Nope. He shut down the EPA.
Paris Peace Accord, Climate Accord. I immediately joined it because if we reach 1.5 degrees Celsius at any one point, where there's no way back. The only existential threat to humanity is climate change, and he didn't do a damn thing about it. He wants to undo all that I've done.
Yep.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones who was costing us money. Nobody else was.
Yes, they treat us horribly.
It was a disaster.
It was a disaster.
He said just now,
See, these are all words he uses with no numbers, no figures, nothing to support it. He's just talking.
What he's doing
And Joe needs to stop talking to him.
Programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And
See, he starts a thought, right? And he doesn't finish it. You don't even know what he's talking about.
Schools or hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is
See, he jumped from one thing to the other. They're going to take over Social Security. And then their cars, and they're going to have accidents. And your car insurance is going to go up. He's a lunatic.
The only ones of consequence, we're not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do anything? We're not able. The United States can't get us under control. One of the largest polluters in the world, number one.
That's right. We are the largest polluter in the world, by the way. You know that?
We will have cut pollution
Yeah.
in half.
We are.
We've made significant progress, and we continue to make progress. We still have a climate corps. There's thousands of young people who learn how to deal with climate, just like the Peace Corps. And we're moving in directions that are going to
Climate Corps.
change
How about that?
the elements that cause of pollution. But the idea that he claims that he is the biggest heart up here and is really concerned about pollution and about climate, I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way, with regard to prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for one voluntarily. I made sure every company in the world, every pharmaceutical company, cannot have to pay.
Thank you.
And by the way,
So every day, millions of Americans struggle just to make ends meet. For many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical lifeline. President Biden, if nothing is done to Social Security, seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security solvent?
yes, make the very wealthy.
But they pay their share. That's right. Pay their fair share. There you go, Joe. See?
6%
That's why I say
of their paycheck.
this ain't really a debate. That's the real answer.
First one they get from 18 years old.
Trump won't have an answer, by the way. You can bet on that.
I'm proposing that.
He'll say something so ridiculous,
Millionaires pay 1%.
and he'll just say, well, you know, Trump is going to say, I implemented the biggest tax cut that will allow for more money to go into Social Security. How much you want to bet that's going to be his answer? That's be his response. That'll be his response. Why? He gonna say what he did for the
We still
wealth.
have 82 seconds left. Are there any other measures that you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent? Or
Yeah, get some of this money that Donald Trump owes.
If we defeat this man, because
Yeah.
he wants to get rid of Social Security.
Yeah,
He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security and Medicare.
yeah,
Both times.
yeah.
And if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that he supports, is in fact want to cut it as well. The idea that we don't need to protect our seniors is ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has greater health care coverage today than ever before. And the ACA, as I said, you're in a circumstance where 400,000 people, 40 million people would not have insurance because they have a pre-existing condition. Only thing allows them to have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA.
That's right.
By the way, the other thing is, we're in a situation where I talk about education for Black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants, another $8,000.
Yes, and Trump cut Pell Grants. In fact, my daughter lost her last year in college of Pell Grants because of Donald Trump. Yeah, we had to pony money up. She was on grants and scholarships. And her last year of college, we had to pony some money up.
8 years. I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies. I've never seen that he can look you in the face.
Obviously he hit himself,
He mentioned the laptop,
right?
He mentioned Russia, Ukraine.
Oh, my goodness.
Everything he does is a lie. It's misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it. because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security, they're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid, they're putting them in our hospitals, they're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels. He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
President Biden?
Well, he's true about that because he stoked that daggone anger. He ain't right about that. He stoked it.
He acknowledged after that he fired that general. That general got fired because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said it.
That's right.
Number one. Number two.
He fired the general for repeating what Donald said.
All these millions and
The
millions
general repeated it.
Illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world. The reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world.
That's right.
And by the way,
Just came out
those
today.
15 Nobel laureates he talked
WO.
about being phony, those 15
Whoever it is.
Nobel laureates, economists, they all said
Yep.
that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession and inflation.
16 top
And
economists.
by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted in him the worst president in the history of the United States of America.
President Biden, thank you so much. Let's turn to the cost of child care, which many American families struggle to afford. President Trump, both you and President Biden have tried to address this issue, but the average cost of child care in this country has risen to more than $11,000 a year per child. For many families, the cost of child care for 2 children is more.
I can't believe they're trying to make this into a real debate. This ain't a real debate. Yeah, this ain't a real debate. And if this is a real debate, it's not even a competition. When this is all over, they look at the facts. It's going to be quite clear that Trump told nothing but lies. And that's not going to matter because his people aren't listening for the truth. That's why they shouldn't have real conversations. Well, it should be real conversation, but really what you'd be talking about is this 34 felony count conviction. He's got 94 felony counts against him. He's already been convicted of 34. That's what he's talking about. He's a convicted felon.
The most embarrassing moment in the history.
It's murder.
Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border that's allowed us to have the worst border in the history of the world? Did anybody get fired?
Worst border? Well, fired? Why? What? This ain't the episode of The Apprentice. You're fired. You're fired. Is that how you do anything? Well, country being destroyed.
As you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate, this shouldn't be a debate. He's the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's the worst president in the history of our country. He's destroyed our country. Now all of a sudden he's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a
let's just say that that's true. What Trump said about is the border is true. So if you are tough on the border, that's what makes you a good president. Nothing else matters. Trying to stop an election, steal an election, raise fake electoral people, voting machine, lying about voting machines, getting people to send in fake vote, electoral votes. None of that matters.
The United States of America. There's nothing beyond the capacity. They're the finest military in the history of the world. The finest.
He called them suckers.
No one thinks we're weak. No one.
Nobody.
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 Number two, the idea.
Who does he think will mess with?
Presidents. I wasn't joking. Look it up. Go online. 159. 58, don't know the exact number. Presidents who was the worst president in American history. One through best to worst. They said he was the worst in all of American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. He can argue they're wrong, but that's what they voted.
That's right. He can argue that they're wrong and he disagrees, but he can't argue that that's what they decided.
We should significantly increase the child care tax credit. We should significantly increase the availability of women and men, single parents, to be able to go back to work.
People, do you really want 34 count felony convicted person as your president who has vowed retribution against the people that have convicted him by
We have Poland, we have other things.
the rule of law,
They rate him the worst.
following
That's
the
what he's done so
Constitution
bad.
of the United
And
States of
they
America.
rate me
Is that what we really want?
And they rate me one of the
Rip.
best, okay? And
Okay,
if I'm
okay.
gonna be
No,
there
not
for 4
okay.
years, I will be the best.
Okay,
I will
not.
be the best. Nobody's
Not.
ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us.
Yeah, nobody
He's
ever
the only
cut
one that
taxes
wants to
like
raise
us.
the taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes.
Everybody's
by 4
taxes.
times. He wants the
By
Trump
4
tax
times.
cuts to expire.
Mm.
So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my
Nobody
life, I
ever heard
grow
of it
up and I
before.
see
Nobody.
politicians
This
talking
is
about cutting
all made
taxes.
up.
When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country.
No, they weren't.
The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
And everybody knows it.
Look, the fact of the matter is,
Everybody
that
knows.
he's dead wrong about it. He's increased the tariff. He will increase the taxes on middle class people. I said I never raised the taxes on anybody making less than $400,000. I didn't. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming in the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more because they're going to have to pay the difference.
Actually, it's 5,000. I heard, but you know.
Number 2, he's in a situation where he talks about how he has.
Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200, Trump.
Middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You have the largest deficit of any president in American history, number 1. Number 2, you have not, in fact,
Largest
been in
deficit.
any contact in
Yes.
progress with China. We're at the lowest trade deficit with China since 2010.
Thank you, President Biden.
You lost
Thank you, President Biden. Let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans that both of you have made a top priority in your first term, the opioid crisis.
Oh, come on, Jake. You're killing me with these common sense questions. This is not a debate, not a debate.
Both of you have made.
Biden has whipped him up one side and down the other. If this was a real debate, it's not a real debate. What are we talking about here, people? We're talking about morality or lack thereof. That's all we're talking about.
Deficit in the history of our country under this guy. The largest deficit with
Everything he's saying, you can go back and fact check. So please fact check what he's talking about.
So I think he's afraid to deal with it or
So
something.
please fact check. Just fact check. That's all I'm asking people. Fact check. Do your own research. Fact check. And you'll find out who created the worst deficit, highest deficit, how many people died in COVID, not COVID, all of that. Fact check. Do your fact checking, people. Do your fact check.
And he's got the worst situation with China.
He's got the worst situation with China. What does that mean? You see how he talks? What does that mean? He's got the worst situation with China. What? Is China got their finger on the button, get ready to push the button and launch against us? What is he talking about? It's rhetoric.
Jake, we were doing very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5
Until the COVID, the one that he, no, we had polio, you idiot. Yes, we had a pandemic before. We've had MERS, SARS. What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Obama left him a plan on how to deal with COVID, and he threw it in the garbage. You get that niggas. I don't want nothing in here from that president. Throw it in the trash. That's what he said.
It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low because
I believe in the tooth fairy. I believe. Baby, I'm pulling the tooth out tonight. I'm putting it under the pillow. There better be $1 in there in the morning.
Numbers that nobody's ever seen.
Nobody's ever seen. It's so bad.
But the number of drugs coming across our border now is the largest we've ever had by far.
Yeah, by far. Of what?
Fentanyl and byproducts fentanyl.
They don't come across the
for
border.
a while. And I wanted to make sure we use a machinery that can detect fentanyl. These
They
big
make it right
machines
here.
that roll over everything that comes across the border.
Like meth.
And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together, this bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more being able to detect drugs, more numbers of agents, more numbers of all people at the border. And when we had
See.
that deal done, he called his Republican colleagues and said, don't do it.
Yep.
It's going to hurt me politically.
This is what they have. Bipartisan agreement is what he's talking about that they put together. Democrats and Republicans. He called them up, said not to support it. That's what Trump did. That's what happened. Okay?
Make sure they don't have the technology to be able to put it together. That's what we have to.
Thank you, President Biden. Now, President Trump, and again, the question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now, struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when he got a hostage.
Like he got that fence that he was going to get for nothing, that wall that he was going to get for nothing, that he was going to have Mexico build. And you watch people, they're going to build it. You watch. No, there's something, they're going to do it. No, it's just something we're going to do. You wait till you see it. I know you don't believe it now, but it's going to happen. Remember, that's exactly about how he said it. It's going to be big. It's going to be big. Remember? Same way he's talking now. Rhetoric.
We had 2 cases where we paid $6 million for 5 people. I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
I paid him essentially nothing. So to a person like him, essentially nothing could mean $1, or it could mean $1 million, depending on what you're talking about. So essentially nothing means nothing to me. Tell me how much you paid him. Just like tell us how much was your taxes.
Being the youngest person in politics, I was the second youngest person ever elected to the United States Senate, and now I'm the oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent.
Oh, lot less
Look at the record. Look what I've done. I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America.
Facts don't matter, Joe. Facts don't matter.
We are growing. By the way, we brought off a lot of people.
Not to the Trump people.
The whole idea.
Maybe to the ones on the sidelines. You independents, listen up, pay attention, take notes, do your fact checking. All right, you independent, use your brain. Since you're independent, do your facts checking. The fact that you on the fence shows me that some of you independents don't have independent thought, because if you did, you wouldn't be on the fence anymore. You'd realize how serious this situation is. You're playing games. Make your move. Make your move. The Biden camp, stop clowning. Stop acting like you're more intelligent and you're more thoughtful and you're more understanding of democracy than anybody else. You're not. You know Trump is the wrong choice, no matter how bad you might think in your small little brain how bad Biden is. Trump is the wrong choice, no matter who else is running. In fact, you might want to consider juxtapose him. If you had to choose between him and Hitler, if you're going to struggle as to which one you're going to pick, something wrong with you. If you got to go, I don't know, even for a second, that should tell you everything you need to know. Because you would never have that thought about Joe Biden, right? With Trump, you might have to stop and go, if Hitler promises not to kill nobody, and don't want to kill no more Jews, I might go with that dude. Pretty good with the economy, kind of like what Trump just said earlier, right? But if you can put him and that guy next to each other, and you can ask yourself, who would you choose? And you have to think about it, even for a split second. It tells you what you really believe about the character of that man. And you would never think that about Joe Biden.
as good a shape as I was.
And you got to ask
years
yourself,
ago. I feel very good.
is
I feel the
character
same. But
important
I was willing to
to
take
the
a calculated
leader
test. And you know what?
of
If I
our
didn't do well,
country?
I aced them.
Should the leader of
Dr.
the
Rodney
United
Jackson,
States
who's
of
a
America
good guy, when he was
have
White House doctor, and then
character?
a similar one.
And the
And both-
answer
one of them
is,
said they'd never seen
I'm
anybody
giving it
face
to
him.
you people.
Thank you.
This is not,
President Biden?
yeah, this is not like, you know, a debate. The answer is yes. You should have character. The answer is yes, he should have character. The answer is yes, he should have character.
Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him.
That's the answer.
I got my
I gave it to
handicap,
you.
which when I was vice president.
Nothing else to talk
down
about.
to 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
It's the sixth handicap of all.
I was at 8.
Just call them out.
8.
You know what? Don't play these games with him, Joe. Joe, don't do it, Joe. Don't do it, Joe. Come on, Joe. Don't do it. Don't do it, Joe. Don't do it.
To a specific concern that
No,
voters have about you. Will
because
you
you
pledge tonight that
crazy.
once all legal challenges have been exhausted, that you will accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
No. Why are you asking that question,
You will
Dana?
say right now that political violence
No.
in any form is unacceptable.
Well, I shouldn't have to say that, but of course I believe that. It's totally unacceptable. And if you would see my statements, that are also my statement that I made in the.
Oh, well, we have seen them, Donald. We have seen them, Donald. You forget. We have seen them. If you see my statements on it, we have seen them, Donald. Yes, we have.
And in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is.
Wait a minute. You hear this idiot? He said Nancy. It was Nancy's. That's like, so if Nancy says, hey, Donald, out the big chair. Move it. Move your ass, Donald. I'm coming in. It's my office now. Donald saying he would have got up and left.
Because I was his opponent.
Little bitch. You little bitch. He just gonna give up the White House like that. Nancy says she want it. He gonna give it up.
The only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm gonna make America great again.
Oh,
We're gonna make America.
He gonna make America white again is what he's saying, people. I'm just calling it what it is. White again. He wants white people, white supremacists in power, people of color, brown people, black people, straight people, gay people that think they're straight people who think they're gay, LGBT, LMNOQ, and the letter P. He wants them all gone. He wants their rights gone. Women, get your ass pregnant. Get back in the kitchen where you belong. That's what he wants. They need to make more white babies. Yup. So they can get their numbers up. Because the rise of the people got to come. The only way for that to happen is to make more then. Because honesty is not their best policy. So we got to cheat. And until the end, we need to be making some more people. White people for white America. Make America white again. Yes, Lord. That's what he wants.
And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
Donald don't care about none of that. He wants that mayhem. You see, Biden, you messing up. Joe, he wants that. He's with Putin. So if he's with Putin, whatever Putin does is good for him. It's good for the Donald brain.
They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it.
Oh, he knew not. Oh, he knew not to do it. Yeah.
Well, but he knew not to play games.
Yeah.
He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man.
He didn't take nothing from me, but he's going to take the whole thing. Can somebody please tell me what the hell he's talking about?
And you asked me a question before. Would you do this? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia.
He got us in. I don't remember Joe being in office when that shit happened. How did Joe get us in anything?
They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities.
Oh, the gold with the buildings, with the fancy stuff, and yeah, these they were blowing. Yeah, that happens when you blow shit up, Donald. Yeah, that's what happens. You see, it goes away.
If it's a fair and legal and good election,
and I agree with the shit, then I'll go after I stay. Because I ain't going nowhere. Why? Because I'm still here. I'm the president.
We'll have a news conference on it in a week. But we'll have another one of these in a week.
Oh, I lost again. What? Oh, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. I couldn't have lost already. I lose again. That's what he gonna say. Yeah. Then I'm like, no.
I would be very happy to be someplace else in a nice location, someplace. And again,
Mar-a-Lago ain't nice. Go back to Mar-a-Lago.
Because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up by numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Yeah, 48%. Hey, isn't that like 50? And if you got 50, don't the other guy get the other 50? 50.
But you continue to provoke this lie about somehow there's all this misrepresentation, all this stealing. There is no evidence of that at all. And I tell you what, I doubt whether you'll accept it because you're such a whiner.
Oh!
If you lose again, you accepted anything. You can't stand the loss. Something snapped in you when you lost the last time.
Loser!
We'll be right back.
Oh, he said something happened last time. He said, Joe said something happened last time. You snapped. He said he snapped, y'all. He said something happened. He snapped. You heard that. He said he snapped. That's nice. That's nice. That's real nice. Yeah. He snapped. Wow, we gotta pause that because we can't endorse. We can't endorse. No, we can't. We can't do it. Can't do it. What we got going on here, people? Let's see. Yeah, looking good like it should. Oh yeah. This your papa. Yeah, it is your papa. Bye. So, people, I know I ran it on while the debate has been going on. I know I have. I don't really consider this to be a debate. I really don't. Biden is debating. Why? I don't know. I thought he would have stopped by now. But he's still, at least he's getting in. He's getting in the shots. He's getting his shots. All Trump doing is he just same old rhetoric. He just anything that you've heard him say in the past, that's what he's saying now. He's not answering no questions. He's just talking, and he's just saying things. The sky is blue, but Tuesday it's going to rain because there is a fence that's going to go up in Bolivia on Sunday, where it's not raining because it doesn't have to. And all of the people know about it because we talk about it all the time. Some of the time to some of the people all of the time. And everybody knows what I'm talking about because I'm talking about it now. So since I'm talking about it, you got to know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, why would I waste my time talking about it? That means you understand me. And I'm right. And the end. That's how Donald Trump wants you to see and accept the world in that nonsense rhetoric that you just heard me say. Now, if that made sense to you, you might want to check yourself into the nearest medical facility as fast as you can, because this is all just a joke, including the debate that's going on right now. It's a joke. Even the national debate, presidential debate people that have been governing debates since debates have been debated and setting the rules up are not even involved at all in this debate. It tells you everything you need to know. They're like, this is a stinky turd. Or maybe Mr. whatever that guy's name is that isn't the president couldn't handle rules and said, no, we're not going to do the rules thing. We have to do this my way. And so that's why maybe they just, not involved. I don't know. We don't know. We may never know. When we do know, they might not tell us. Yeah, that makes sense too. Doesn't it? Nope. I'm a man slave. Nope.
We made significant progress from the debacle that was left by
Let's hear this to the end.
in his last term. We found ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I asked anyone out there in the audience, or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said that nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes, and if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic. And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare for the people to negotiate drug prices with big pharma companies. Well, guess what? We got it down to 15 for insulin instead of $400. No one for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that
Joe,
is?
you're busy telling facts, Joe. Stop talking facts.
By
Joe's talking too many facts.
Because the government doesn't have to pay.
And Trump supporters are not interested in facts. They're just not. He should be talking about the criminality of this man. Every opportunity, he should be talking about the criminality of this man. He is a convicted felon. Convicted felon.
Lead pipes and all the things that are
convicted felon
for people across the country. We're going to continue to fight to bring down inflation and give people a break.
I'm gonna lock up.
President Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your
Gonna get you locked up.
Like so many politicians,
Yeah.
this man is just a complainer.
187, baby. 187. 187.
But he doesn't do anything.
Murder.
All he does is make our country unsafe by allowing
Felon.
millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that
you
would
hear
never
his
happen.
talk.
It should have never happened.
We
Iran
look
was
like
broke.
fools.
Anybody that did business with Iran, including China.
So
that
because
couldn't
of
do
how
business
we
with the United
look,
States, they all passed.
we should do
Iran was
something.
broke. They had no money
How
for
we
Hamas
look
or
to other
Hezbollah
people.
for terror. No money
Do we even
whatsoever.
teach our children that
Again,
nonsense?
Ukraine should have
I
never
believe
happened.
that's one of the things we tell our children. Look, we don't really care what other people think
We have
about you.
the
They can say
Palestinians,
whatever
we
they
have
want.
everybody else
One, as long as they don't put their hands on you, and two, they can't affect you.
This
You know,
is 100
talk is
times
cheap,
Charlottesville, 1,000
right?
times.
You keep
The
it
whole
moving.
country is exploding because of you.
No, the
Because
whole
they don't
country's
respect you,
exploded
and they
because
have
of
to
your
respect their
hatred.
president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What
Oh,
we did was
you got the
incredible. We
nerve.
rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history.
Yeah,
The
largest
reason
tax
he's got
cut because he
jobs
gave
is
it to the
because I cut
wealthiest people.
regulations that gave
That
him.
is true.
And he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like. Even
Yes, including the coup d'etat. We ain't never seen that shit before either. We ain't seen no coup d'etat either. Yeah, shut up.
For 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was an incredible choice for our soldiers. For our soldiers,
Yeah, we
instead of
gave them
waiting for 3
chicken
months to
in
see a
every pot.
doctor, can go out and get themselves
Chicken.
fixed up and readied up
and
take
fixed
care of
up and
themselves
very.
they're living, and that's why I had the highest approval rating
What?
in the history of the
It does
VA.
that even
So
mean
all
what he
of these
just
things, we're a
said?
failing nation,
It means
but it's not
nothing.
going to be failing anymore.
I know I got a pay raise under Biden.
Thank you, former
I got an
President Trump.
increase in my retirement under Biden, and I don't know what at least talking about. I ain't get jack under Trump.
Of this debate, Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Is that the end?
And that is the first presidential debate of the 2024 election cycle at a very unusual time with very unusual format. And I think with probably strange results.
Oh.
I mean, we'll see the response from both sides. But if you're the Biden campaign, I think you wish that this night will be remembered in reverse as the president became sort of stronger, including literally his voice, the strength of his voice over the course of the night, probably peaking towards the very, very end of the debate. For the Trump campaign, I think it's fair to say it was the inverse. President Trump, just in terms of his coherence and finishing a sentence and seeming.
Oh no, he wasn't finishing no
emotions,
sentence. He can't finish no
strong
sentence.
as he was.
Yep, he did start strong,
at the very beginning of the debate,
but
and
he's
then
weak.
over the course of the night, he became less coherent and more
And he's
visibly
looking
flustered.
around.
I don't think
He's
either of
looking.
these campaigns,
He's
either of
looking
these campaigns
around.
are going to
Vonica, you out there, baby? Vonica, you out there? Where you at, baby? You.
President Biden
I think is she in the back?
very hard to hear. It's hard to tell what he was
No,
saying.
no, that ain't her. That's that. What's she doing here? She's supposed to be here. She gonna mess me up. No, Vonica, I can't see her nowhere.
I was on the phone.
Well, Vonica,
some
baby.
of it after that became clear,
You
and
did see
there is
Vonica was there,
conversation
baby?
happening inside
Vonica
Biden's
there?
circle, and certainly a
Was
much
Vonica
more
there?
frank conversation happening inside the Democratic coalition. And I
No
think
Vonica,
there
everybody.
is
No
always a lot
Vonica,
of
no
concern
Vonica.
about the
No
performance
Vonica.
tonight. And I think what
When you
that
say conversations happening, what do you mean?
I think people are talking. I think the conversations range from whether he should be in this race tomorrow morning to what was wrong with him. I mean, he has a cold that came out. Our own Kelly O'Donnell reported that a few minutes in, but exactly what you
Negative
articulated.
COVID test, but a cold.
Right. So those things were, I mean, the reason reporters were reporting on the cold was because of what you articulated. I mean, the voice was very, very soft. It wasn't the Joe Biden performance in the State of the Union. It wasn't seizing a moment to get on the offensive on immigration. It wasn't Joe Biden on the offensive on January 6th. It wasn't Joe Biden on the offensive on abortion, his two, shining issues. It was exactly what Chris Hayes predicted. It was Trump moderating not just tonally, but sounding less crazy as he lied as often as he breathed. The debate moderators did not fact check one thing, but they did give Joe Biden time to fact check, and he didn't do much of it either. It is not our job to tell people what to see and hear, but I think what I heard from the Biden aide is we can't necessarily spin too much what people did see and hear.
Joy.
Yeah,
Well, there you have it. I'm gonna tell you. That's why I narrated for you, folks.
And obviously, Joe Biden comes in with certain deficits. He has a stutter. He is
Ridiculous debate. This wasn't a debate. It is not a debate.
For a long time. That
Didn't
said,
start as a
I too
debate.
was on the phone throughout much of the debate with
At all.
Obama, involved people, with Democrats, with people
Not
who
a
were political
debate, not a
operatives,
debate,
with
not a
campaign
debate.
operatives. My phone really never stopped buzzing throughout.
Not a
And
debate.
the universal
Not a
reaction was somewhere approaching panic.
Not a debate.
The people who were texting with me were very concerned
Not a debate.
about President Biden seeming
Not
extremely
a debate.
feeble, seeming extremely weak. And I'll just reiterate what I said earlier. President Biden had one job today, and it was one primary job. And yes, it was to litigate Donald Trump's, criminality and all of those things, but he had to settle his own party. Mm-hmm. He needed to settle Democrats. Democrats, they always talk about Democrats are bedwetters and Democrats are always panicking. Yes, Democrats are always panicking. They're always scared, right? They're always thinking they're going to lose. Like Democrats are very pessimistic. This is just who they are. They're neurotic. But Joe Biden's job was to reassure them tonight. His job was to calm his party, to make them feel that, yes, I can do this. I have 4 more years in me. I have the ability.
Oh, he did all of that.
And the strength.
He did all of that.
He did not do that. He did the opposite of that. He made them more panicked. The people who were texting me were even more panicked. They actually expected it to be better than it was. And now they're in I won't say a full-fledged panic, but it's getting there.
And are people who you're talking to are expressing these concerns, are these people who are involved in Democratic politics, or are these liberals watching TV?
These are not liberals watching TV. These are campaign people. These are people who are either Democratic operatives. These are people who are former, sort of Obama administration people. These are people who are in the business.
Okay.
So the civilians are also panicking.